not control the environment, they should make the wise judgment not to open, or if they get in a situation where they can't control it, they need to close.
Today, Governor DeWine threatened to pull the liquor license of restaurant owners who are not following the reopening rules. Plus, a local restaurant owner explains what he's doing to control the crowds.
It's been a struggle, but we're holding it together.
A local daycare owner says she'll have to hire more teachers to take care of fewer students. The major concerns of what the future of daycare may look like. A spike in cases, the head of MetroHealth reveals what their projections for the future looks like, plus the CEO's take on a possible vaccine.
No matter what the obstacles she's facing, she continues to push through it and maintain an inspiring attitude.
And the woman who's inspiring people all around her, including her boss. We have a special surprise for her. What's New starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to What's New. I hope you had a terrific weekend. It was nice to see the weather cooperate. I'm Jay Crawford, still coming to you from Studio J. Betsy is off this week. Romney is in her place. Romney, a very good Monday afternoon to you.
Good Monday to you, too. It's so nice to be here with you, Jay. It's been a while.
It has been too long.
All right, so let's get started. State leaders have no tolerance for local bars and restaurants not complying with safety guidelines as we continue to open the state's economy. In fact, it was so much of a problem that Governor Mike DeWine laid out the plans today for businesses who don't follow protocol. Our Laura Queso is in the studio with some tough words from the governor. Laura.
Yeah, so Romney, the governor is saying that for the most part, bars and restaurants are doing a pretty good job when it comes to following guidelines, but there are some exceptions here. And basically, he's now saying that those bars and restaurants could jeopardize how the state reopens amid the continued coronavirus pandemic. So today, the governor read part of the order, which states restaurants and bars can open as long as social distancing is happening. That's 6 feet between an employee and customers. Not only that, but all customers have to be seated and there is no waiting in common areas. And reservations must be limited to parties of 10 people or less. Now, because there are some restaurants that are not following these guidelines, Governor DeWine said he's created a task force to crack down on those who cannot follow the rules. This will include law enforcement officers and also members of the health department.
They will surge in to conduct safety compliance checks in crowded bars and restaurants. They will issue administrative citations that can result in the revocation of liquor licenses. Further, they will work with municipal prosecutors to take potential criminal action against these bad actors.
Now, the governor said it's up to the businesses and the customers to follow these guidelines. He says this continues to be a reopening test, and we are still seeing how well we're doing, being that the coronavirus, Romney, is still very much with us. And now we have 28,454 cases of coronavirus in Ohio, including 531 new cases in the last 24 hours. So we've seen an uptick in new cases since yesterday, when only 449 new cases were reported. Again, that's news just coming in from the press conference today, Romney.
Thank you, Laura. I think a lot of people are paying attention because we want to go back to eat, but we all want to be safe. So we're kind of looking to see what's going to happen, and the governor has spoken. We got to be careful.
All right, now on to your feed at 5. And first up there, this weekend's packed patios were also frustrating for other bar and restaurant owners who are following the rules. Some bars and restaurants, including several in the Flats, drew heated criticism on social media. I'm sure you saw that over the weekend for what appeared to be a disregard for all the social distancing requirements set by the state and local health departments. One Flats bar owner who limited patrons on his patio said restaurants can do things to better manage crowds.
We're past the patio now because on the 21st we go full blown. What you have to do is take a page out of Home Depot, Heinen's, the rest of the local merchants, and you have to count people in and out. That's how we're gonna have to start. I can't just let people walk in, and then say, oh, I couldn't control it.
Gresham told 3 News he believes restaurant owners will get it right over the next couple of weeks, and he plans to try to take several crowd control measures, including limiting the time each patron can stay to 2 hours. This way, he says, it gives everyone a chance to get in. Less than an hour ago, the city released a statement saying the police department responded to 28 calls about mass gatherings at businesses and residents over the weekend. They visited the 4 restaurants and bars with the most complaints. Mayor Frank Jackson said he takes the state's guidelines very seriously and says he'll continue to monitor the situation while developing a policy to address habitual offenders.
So let's get to some health news. MetroHealth released its new projections of coronavirus cases now that Ohio has reopened businesses. The health system says we can plan on a spike in the number of infections. Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, spoke with MetroHealth CEO about what that could mean specifically for Northeast Ohio.
The last time MetroHealth released its own modeling analysis in early April, it predicted cases would drop far lower than the state was projecting, and they were right. Now, Metro's new data suggests we're in for a spike in cases now that businesses are reopening, but there is a silver lining.
We're running around between 500 new cases a day right now. That number would have been around 250 to 300 had we not had reopening. By the time reopening peaks, we'll probably be between 600 and 900 cases a day. But that will quickly come down, and we will get back on track and having numbers in 100, 200, 300 area.
Metro's data also warns of cluster spikes that are hyper-localized and predicts Cuyahoga County will likely see a significant jump. This modeling helps the hospital prepare for an influx of patients. Currently, Dr. Boutros says there are about 20 COVID patients at Metro being treated. He expects that number to jump to about 30 in the near future. Monica Robbins, 3 News.
Daycare centers get the green light to reopen at the end of this month, but a lot of parents are still struggling with whether or not it's safe for their kids, especially after Governor DeWine told our Russ Mitchell that he wouldn't send his own grandkids to daycare if he had that choice. Our Brandon Simmons talked to a local daycare owner about the challenges they face under the state's safety guidelines.
It was last week when Governor Mike DeWine announced that daycare centers could open back up beginning on May 31st. That's a Sunday. Most of them planning to open on that following Monday, which is June 1st. However, we spoke to Governor Mike DeWine on Friday asking if he would be comfortable sending his own grandchildren to daycare. Here's his answer.
If I had a choice, I would not do it. Now, a lot of people don't have a choice. And so what we've tried to do is make it as safe as humanly possible.
Now, that response comes as a surprise to some operators who felt like he was giving sort of mixed messages by first allowing daycares to open, but then on the other hand saying he didn't feel comfortable sending his own grandchildren there. I spoke to them about what guidelines are in place and how they feel about opening up their centers come May 31st.
I know parents are going to want to take it slow, and that's fine. And I understand that fear as well. But I would have no fear sending my child back if I felt my center was doing everything that they're supposed to be doing.
Now, again, some of those guidelines that are in place include more washing of hands, sanitizing surfaces, things like that. Also doing curbside pickup of kids if that's a possibility at that facility, amongst a number of other things. But of course, the biggest change to come is lower classroom ratios, meaning less students per classroom. And that creates a hardship in itself for operators who have to either hire more staff or accept less students enrolling in their centers. Now, again, that date is May 31st, when a lot of operators are looking forward to see how well does business return. That's when they will really see if parents are comfortable or not sending their kids back to daycare, and they'll know then the true effects that this pandemic is having. In Streetsboro, I'm Brandon Simmons, 3 News.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Let's check in now on some other headlines making news this hour, and for that, we go back to our WKYC studios. And Russ Mitchell. Russ, a very good Monday afternoon to you.
Jay, good Monday afternoon to you as well. This just in this afternoon, President Trump says he's taking an unproven malaria drug to lessen symptoms in case he gets coronavirus. Mr. Trump told reporters today he's taking hydroxychloroquine and a zinc supplement for about a week and a half now. He also says he requested it from the White House doctor. That drug has not been proven to fight COVID-19. The CDC has confirmed that rare inflammatory disease affecting children is in fact linked to coronavirus. The CDC has released a list of standard symptoms, which include fever, rash, abdominal pain, and swollen hands or feet. And another salute to some 2020 high school seniors. The teachers of the International Newcomers Academy at Thomas Jefferson School in Cleveland paraded by the homes of its graduates this morning. The students are all refugees, immigrants from the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico. Once again, congratulations to all of them, certainly. All right, Jay, I'll see you about 5:30.
All right, Russ, we'll see you then. Thanks. Still ahead on What's New, we are honoring an unsung hero. One hospital cleaner is protecting patients and her coworkers, and now there's a very special surprise in store for her. And Stephanie, what's clicking in Cleveland on this Monday?
Jay, Put-in-Bay has been on lockdown for a while now, but that is about to change. We have what you need to know to get to the island. Now, Jason, what is going on with this weather today?
Well, good afternoon to you, Stephanie. We had lots of rain showers throughout northeast Ohio today, and we have flood warnings in effect. I'll let you know when we're saying goodbye to the rain and hello to the sun and 80 degrees. Jay?
Jason, thank you. Before we head to break, it is my distinct pleasure to share some great news with our What's New viewers. Our Sarah Shookman and her husband Angelo welcomed their beautiful daughter into the world Friday morning. Meet Isla Elizabeth Scott DeFranco. She is a beauty. Sarah and Isla are home and doing great. Angelo thinks that she'll be good at math since she was born on May 15th, 2020. That's because 5, which is the month, and 15, which is the day, equals, you guessed it, the year she was born. Their dog Basil is loving being a big sister, and we welcome to the 3 News family a beautiful baby girl, Isla. Congratulations, Sarah and Angela. What's New is coming right back.
Yep, I'm still here. Yep, I'm here. No worries. Yep, I can hear you. Yep, I got you. Yep, can you hear me? I'm here. Yep, I'm here. I don't know why you guys can't hear me. Al, I can hear you. Yep, I can hear you, Al. Are you with me, Al? Can you hear me, Al? Okay, okay. Gotcha. Lenny. Thank you.
Just like Batman, He does things at night, doesn't always get recognized for it. And that's what EVS workers do, is we're the last line of defense.
Environmental service workers are the ones who clean and sanitize hospitals. They often get overlooked, but they truly are heroes. Danielle Wiggins has the story of an EVS worker whose perseverance and attitude are inspiring many others, especially her own boss.
Inside this hospital is a humble hero. She doesn't wear a cape, but she does suit up to battle an invisible enemy.
Watching her, it uplifted me, because sometimes you ask yourself, am I sacrificing myself? Is my job worth it?
That's Eric Vidal. He manages the cleaning and sanitization of University Hospital's Parma Medical Center. Stacey Howard is one of his employees, who he describes as an inspiration.
No matter what the obstacles she's facing, she continues to push through it and maintain an inspiring attitude.
My God, there's this terrible fire.
Stacey and her family lost their home after last year's deadly fire at Camelot Apartments in Parma Heights.
The whole building was pretty much unlivable, so we went and stayed with my sister for a little while until we were able to get back on our feet and find a new place.
And if surviving a fire that took her home and the life of one of her neighbors wasn't enough to press through, Stacey had to self-quarantine away from her family for 14 days. She had been exposed to COVID-19 when she cleaned a patient's room who later tested positive for the disease.
She was one of the first people to be exposed, so at that time it was a more frightening environment.
I was shocked and a little nervous.
The mother of two never contracted COVID-19, so she returned to work. Her first words to her boss:
Do you have any more masks?
Stacey even volunteered to clean the floors of university hospitals where patients with the novel coronavirus were staying. She didn't want her colleague, whose family members are at risk for developing complications from COVID-19, to be exposed when cleaning those rooms.
Oh my gosh, I'm like, Stacey, you're the best. You are over here saving my life, not just mine, my whole family.
It wasn't hard to do something like that. It's my job to do that.
Stacey isn't afraid to clean rooms exposed to COVID-19 here at UH because she says those patients deserve clean rooms too. She even makes it a point to talk to each patient because she wants them to know that she cares. At Parma Medical Center, Danielle Wiggins, 3 News.
Danielle, thanks. And we are glad to have the opportunity to tell Stacey how much we care and thank her. True hero. There are many people like Stacey that fly under the radar, but to all of them that are instrumental in this fight, we salute you. Well, I have to say, rain seems to be the order of the day as we bring in meteorologist Jason Fraser. But Jay, I'll tell you, I will trade a Monday of rain for the weather we had over the weekend. And I know yesterday wasn't perfect, but I thought Saturday was gorgeous. Yesterday was serviceable for a weekend day. I'll make that trade any day of the week. Give me 2 decent weekend days for that rainy Monday.
Well, you know, what's been interesting around Northeast Ohio is, you know, in April, we're supposed to get lots of showers, and then instead we got cold weather and even some snow, and now we're getting May showers. So hopefully it will lead to some June flowers, maybe. I'm thinking about that. I don't know. Maybe you can blame it on me.
Yeah.
Well, if you are sick of the rain, I know like some of you are, I have some bad news for you. We are going to continue to see a lot more rain over the next couple of hours. Here's the weather bottom line for you for today. So we are going to see flooding in some parts of our area, particularly west of Cuyahoga County. Rain continues, and we will continue to see those mild temperatures stay around. So those of you that are in the counties in green, and that includes Cuyahoga County, Medina, as well as Sandusky, you guys are still under a flood watch, and that goes until about 10 tomorrow morning. And you might notice that those areas in Marion, Delaware, Mount Vernon, on the outskirts of Ridgeland County, those areas are under a tornado watch. I think the system that is causing that is really going to stay farther south of us, so that is a good thing. We are going to still get some rain showers, but that instability that is leading to those tornado tornado watches, I should say, is not going to likely make it into our area. Doppler radar, as you can see right now, we have scattered rain showers as we zoom in here, you east siders, including Bainbridge, as well as the Akron area. You guys are also seeing some rain showers. North Canton right now, you guys are not seeing any rain, but within 20 minutes or so, you will likely start to see some rain showers. This is all associated with a massive system that is moving across much of the Midwest. And as you can see there, it's moving counterclockwise. And what that basically means is we got warmer air that is moving from the south, but behind it, we are going to get some cooler air. The other thing that's happening is to our east, we have Tropical Storm Arthur. And what that's basically doing is holding the system in place. If that system was not there, we would actually have the low pressure system that's over our area to slide eastward. But you know what? We have mild air across our region. We have upper 60s in many parts, including Worcester checking in at 67, 68 down in Millersburg, 70 degrees right now in Akron. National Design on hour-by-hour forecast. So for those of you that love thunderstorms, I have some good news for you. We will end up seeing a few thunderstorms, particularly south and west of the Akron area, including the Mansfield area, as well as Worcester. And you'll also notice that tomorrow morning, depending on where you are, some of you will wake up to partly sunny skies, including Ravenna, Chardon, as well as Ashtabula. But Mansfield, as well as New Philadelphia, even the outer skirts of the Worcester area will likely continue to see some rain showers. By lunchtime, though, I do think the rain will likely stop, but those of you in Ridgeland County could end up seeing just a quick shower tomorrow. Here's a look right now at your Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. So a high for tomorrow of 67. Then we get a little bit of cooler air in here tomorrow. High temperature of about 67. But those of you that have been looking for that summer weather, good news for you. By Saturday, 74 degrees, 80 degrees by Sunday, and 81 by Monday. So swimming trunks are certainly going to be coming out, Jay.
Unbelievable. Again, it looks like a beautiful weekend ahead. I know the Put-in-Bay folks are very excited to have the ferry running. Who knows, maybe a trip to the islands in some folks' future for the weekend. Jason, thanks. We'll see you in the next half hour. Yeah, straight ahead on what's new. There's some good news for those missing some of the fun times on Put-in-Bay. Stephanie has that news straight ahead in Clicking in Cleveland.
Hello.
Welcome back. It's time to see what's clicking in Cleveland with our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Good afternoon, Stephanie.
Hey there, Romney. So here's some news for you. The state of Ohio might not be requiring the general public to wear face masks, but here in Cuyahoga County, they are. That's at least when you go into county buildings, according to an executive order that took effect today. So yes, this is for employees of the county and visitors, with just a few exceptions. That's including visitors to the Justice Center, exceptions for employees who work by themselves, and also if you have a health issue that prevents you from wearing a mask, and of course the catch-all of all other exceptions recognized by the Ohio Department of Health. Now, for those of you who are missing the Lake Erie Islands, you'll be happy to know that Jet Express is firing up the ferry again this Friday with a limited schedule, and they posted about what you need to know about what you can do and what they'll do to do this as safely as possible. So for passengers, they'd like you to wear a mask. They want you to stay with your own group of 10 people or less and stay 6 feet away from strangers. And for their part, Jet Express workers will wear gloves and face coverings. They'll do wellness checks. They will clean the ferry after every single trip and also clean the docks after every single trip. A lot of measures they're going to be taking there in order to try and keep people as safe as possible. And ESPN may have finally gotten to the bottom of the Michael Jordan, LeBron James GOAT debate, but the kid from Akron will not like these results. So as the last 2 episodes of the Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, dropped this weekend, ESPN asked fans to vote in 17 categories on who was better, Jordan or James. And Jordan dominated, winning every single category, all 17 of them, including better sneaker fashion and to play in, coming through in the clutch, and who is the better player overall. Now, before we get too carried away, though, one comment that I did see a lot of on social media was people saying, of course Jordan was going to win right now. Everybody's all hyped up after watching The Last Dance, Romney. So maybe when we eventually get that James documentary, which we know is definitely coming,
Yes.
ESPN will have to do another poll like this.
I think they kind of have to, especially for us here in Ohio. I mean, come on, even the sneakers? Really?
Totally.
Okay, thanks, Stephanie. Coming up, there's a promise to develop a coronavirus vaccine, when it could be ready, and what local health officials think about it. Also, American Idol fans were concerned that Ryan Seacrest might have had a stroke on air last night. What his representative says really happened. And we're helping you boost your immune system with the right food and vitamins.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Along with Romney Smith, I'm Jay Crawford. Romney in for Betsy today. Every day at 5:30, Romney, in case you were unaware, we try to do something to make our viewers smile. We call it Tell Me Something Good. And I'm told you found something good today. What do you have?
Yes, I had to come prepared, Jay. Okay, so this is really sweet. The FBI Citizens Academy Alumni Association is paying tribute to our first responders. They're asking people to dedicate an American flag to frontline workers. So they'll create a flag display at Edgewater Park over Flag Day weekend. Now, it costs $50, and the proceeds will go to MedWish and MedWorks. Both organizations provide medical supplies, protective gear, and more to frontline workers. Now, you'll receive an honor medallion with the honoree's name on it, and you can actually put anyone's name on it.
Very specifically on the website, you can honor your heroes, whether they've been in law enforcement, military, in the medical field, any mentor that meant a lot in your life.
The organization will place the flag there for you. So if you're interested, we already have all of that information on our website at WKYC.com. Jay?
All right, I like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Romney, thank you very much. All right, it is time now for our top talker this day at 5:30. Many of you sounded off on whether some Cleveland area restaurants didn't do enough over the weekend to physically distance people on their patios. The owner of Lindy's Lake House wishes he'd done more to protect people, while owners of Lago and Town Hall say there is no definitive way to do that. The owner of True Cocktails and Bites in the Flats says more could be done.
We're at the beginning. We're not where Heinen's and the rest of these places are at, these grocery stores, because they've been running since day one. So what we have to do is take baby steps, and we have to implement certain things until we get a hold on how to do it the right way. But the number one thing we're going to do here at True, we're going to count people in and out.
Well, this is a learning process, and I'm sure more will be learned with each new day. Governor Mike DeWine has threatened to pull the liquor license of restaurant and bar owners who don't comply with these guidelines. Inside dining at restaurants, remember, opens this Thursday. And tonight at 6 o'clock, what the county says is expected from restaurant owners. Romney?
That's going to be big. Thank you, Jay. A promise on a vaccine is also getting a lot of people talking. Drug maker Moderna says early data from a very small clinical trial shows that the test subjects developed antibodies. The phase 1 data are only from the first 8 participants in the trial, but they all developed antibodies at levels that reached or exceeded those seen in people who have recovered from COVID-19. They also developed what's known as neutralizing antibodies, which are the type needed to fight the virus. Dr. Akram Boutros, the CEO of MetroHealth, says he's optimistic about a quick timeline for the vaccine.
These companies are going to pour lots of money and effort in it, because whoever comes up with a vaccine has a global market that will be utilizing it, so that almost every person on the planet is going to get vaccinated. That is a once-in-a-century opportunity for these drug companies. So they're going to be working very quickly on it.
The company Moderna says it hopes to start a phase 3 trial in July. All right, let's check back in with Russ Mitchell for even more news headlines. Good afternoon, Russ.
Romney, it is great to see you. Good afternoon to you as well. Federal investigators have now found cell phone evidence that ties al-Qaeda to last year's deadly shooting in a naval base in Pensacola, Florida. The connection was found on gunman Mohammed al-Shamrani's phone. He killed 3 sailors and injured 8 others before he was killed by a sheriff's deputy. Cities like Venice and Italy are opening again a few weeks sooner than expected. Cafes, restaurants, and bars open for the first time in nearly 3 months today. None of this was supposed to happen before June 1st, but fewer COVID-19 cases and fewer deaths prompted the government to reopen now. And we now know more about JCPenney's plan to emerge from bankruptcy. First, it will go with a new name, JCP. It also plans to close some 240 of its 800 stores, which, according to the New York Times, could hurt struggling malls. And we know that many of those malls, there's really only one anchor store left, and in many cases, it's JCPenney. So it'll be sad and interesting to see what happens to those malls.
Absolutely. And, you know, Russ, this is my first time weekday in the studio, and I hear that you got a chance to speak with Cleveland native and TV show host Steve Harvey. What did he have to say?
So you come in here during the week, no, Matt, you don't know what you're going to hear.
Exactly.
That is correct, Romney. I did get to speak with him last week. He told me how he's weathering these unusual times. He's at his home in Atlanta as opposed to L.A., but he told me his heart is never far from home.
In the glitz and glam business now, but I think I missed the grit of Cleveland.
Any words of inspiration for the people of your hometown?
We Cleveland. We done been through worse. I know it's difficult. I know it's challenging. And yes, it is, man. But we're going to get through this just like we done got through everything else. We Cleveland, man. We Cleveland.
Inspirational, funny interview. And you can catch the full interview tonight with Steve Harvey at 11 o'clock on What's Next, part of a weekly series we're doing here this week, catching up with some big-name talent with Cleveland roots. He also told me, Romney, the first thing he wants to do once he can go back outside is get to the golf course.
Yes.
He loves the 19th hole more than anything else, but he can't wait to get back there.
I'm sure. And I like his phrase, we Cleveland. That feels like it should go on a shirt.
That's true. We Cleveland, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
See ya.
And I'm with Steve. I missed the golf course, and I missed my favorite hole, too, the 19th hole. Well, a lot of folks talking about Ryan Seacrest. Is he okay? Stephanie Haney has the answer to that and more in our daily pop break.
After first denying singing the N-word on an Instagram live video over the weekend, former Bachelorette Hannah Brown has posted that she's sorry in a written statement. But that is not good enough if you ask former Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay, who asked Hannah directly to do better.
But when you're bold enough to say the N-word on camera, on your platform, let me just say, when you're bold enough to say the word on your platform, then you need to be bold enough to use your face and your on camera and apologize in the same way that you said the word.
But so far, Hannah has not showed her face since saying that word. Maybe we'll hear from Hannah now. She wanted out and fast, but Mary-Kate Olsen's request for an emergency divorce filing has been denied, with the judge saying there's no emergency here. The fashion designer filed for divorce from her French banker husband, Olivier Sarkozy, in April, and he wanted her out of their New York City apartment by today. That's why she tried to go for the special filing, saying she couldn't move in the middle of a pandemic, and she was worried he'd try to sell off her stuff. So now what? Well, just like anyone else, Mary-Kate will have to file a separation agreement and wait it out until the courts are back in session. And the official word is in. Ryan Seacrest did not have a stroke during the American Idol finale last night, but it sure did look and sound like it. Check out this fan video.
Cynthia Erivo and the top 11 right there. Catch her playing Aretha Franklin on the National Geographic series Genius Aretha premiering this fall. Now,
you can see there Seacrest appeared to slur his words and his right eye seemed droopy. But his rep says Seacrest, who was missing from Live with Kelly and Ryan today, was just stressed with doing so many live shows from home, and he's taking a much-needed day of rest right now.
Here's hoping that Ryan is feeling better after that day of rest for sure. Now, here's a pretty cool story for us in Northeast Ohio. Dr. Amy Acton has reached a whole new level of pop culture icon with a profile in Glamour magazine. So the piece asks whether our Department of Health director is the pandemic's most Midwestern hero. It talks about the Acton Facebook fan club and how she started getting Ohio ready behind the scenes for this pandemic back in January after she picked up on a note in a CDC expert's voice. And it also praises her great working relationship with Governor Mike DeWine, which is not something that all medical experts have with their leaders across the country, Jay. It's a great read. I would highly recommend it. I learned a lot.
Very good. Back to the Ryan Seacrest thing. I'm good to hear that it wasn't a stroke. I was struck by a couple of things. He kept putting his hands in front of his mouth as if he knew that his facial expressions were a bit off, trying to hide something. The other thing is, it's related to stress. It doesn't surprise me at all. I think Ryan Seacrest is on TV in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a live show or a tape show, about 6 hours every day. I don't know when the man gets any rest. Yes. It's okay, Ryan. You don't have to be all places, all times. Take a break. Take a break. Enjoy the success. You've earned it. Steph, thanks. We'll certainly see you tomorrow. Well, they say you are what you eat. Next, a look at the foods you need to be eating in order to boost your immune system, which is so very important these days. Jason Fraser, how's the weather looking, my friend?
Well, we had lots of rain throughout Northeast Ohio today. We have more coming, including the possibility of some thunderstorms. I'll let you know when we're finally going to dry out.
All right, Jason, thanks. We'll see you in just a little bit. It is time for today's pop quiz. I read this earlier today, couldn't believe it. 40 years ago today, Mount St. Helens erupted. I remember that. It destroyed hundreds of homes, killed many people and animals as well. Our question, are you old enough to remember what state Mount St. Helens is located? Is it in Washington? Is it in Oregon? Or is it in Montana? We're going to have the answer on the other side of this break. Stay with us. What's new? Coming right back. All right, let's give you the answer to our pop quiz. What state is Mount St. Helens located? The answer is A, Washington. I've been there. It's beautiful. But Romney, I have to say, I am a little depressed. I remember that. I was very young at the time. I was 13 years old, but I remember that. And when you hear that it happened 40 years ago, it's mind-blowing. It certainly doesn't seem like it's been 40 years.
But I bet that the time...
You weren't even born yet.
I'm not going to comment on anything relative to that. I'm just happy I got the question correct. I knew which state it was in. Thank you, Jay.
Very good.
I hope you guys got it right at home, too. A little geography lesson for you there. Okay, so keep in mind, staying healthy means more than just washing your hands and wearing a mask. While certain foods won't keep you from getting the coronavirus, some foods can boost your immune system. First up, Cleveland Clinic dietitian Kirsten Kirkpatrick shares what vitamins and minerals you should pay attention to in your food.
First of all, you can look at the immune vitamins and minerals. So that would be vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, selenium. Those would be some other components too that you can look at.
So that's if you read the labels. Dr. Kristen also says all of the vitamins, with the exception of vitamin D, can be absorbed through food pretty well. Now, here are some of the foods that will give you a great supply of most other vitamins.
Selenium is probably best ingested through Brazil nuts. I always joke that Brazil nuts are like that one nut that we throw out of the mixed nut pack, right? So it's like the nut we don't really love, but it's the best form of selenium. Almonds are a great form of vitamin E. And then you can also look at anything that's kind of antimicrobial, which would be found in the allium family. So that would be things like garlic, onion, leeks, shallots.
That's a good list. Now, if you can't find all of that super fresh food right now, she says it's okay. Even frozen food is good, making the point that eating healthier, it's about progress, not perfection. And speaking of perfect, I've been waiting for perfect weather. And Jason, this weather is more of a lay on your couch and eat your favorite snacks kind of weather.
It is, but you know what? It is a precursor for some gorgeous weather. I'm talking about partly sunny skies and temperatures well in the 80s. How do you like that?
Ooh, 80s. Tell me more.
Well, first, though, we're going to have to get through tonight and then tomorrow. And then in that 7-day forecast is when we're going to get to the 80s. But first, let's talk about what's going to happen over the next 24 hours. So here's the weather bottom line. If you are in counties, particularly west of Cuyahoga County right now, you are seeing some rain showers, and the rain is going to continue throughout northeast Ohio. There is going to be some flooding in some parts of our area. If you're in the low-lying areas, you are going to potentially see some flooding and some mild air continue to push across our region. If you see something interesting over the next 24 hours, tag me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram at Jason Fraser TV. I would love to see it. So I talked about some of the flooding. We do have a flood watch in effect for all of the counties that you see there in green, and that includes Cuyahoga County as well as Medina and Lorain. This goes until tomorrow morning. And the counties that you see there that are shaded in that off red, and they include counties like Columbus as well as Franklin area, they are under a tornado watch until 9 p.m. tonight. Now, I'll have much more on that in a second, but Doppler radar, as you can see, depending on where you are seeing either mostly cloudy skies or even some rain showers. And as we zoom in here, you'll notice they're in Brainbridge as well as in the Akron area. We are seeing some light to moderate rain showers. Now, I talked about some of the severe weather that's moving through central Ohio. There was a tornado warning that just expired about 15 minutes ago in the Franklin County area. There were several reports of funnel clouds. We have not been able to confirm yet if a tornado did touch down. We are reaching out to our sister station there, WBNS, to see if we can get some more information. We're going to hopefully have much more on that coming up for you tonight at 6. But all of this rain that you can see right there is all associated with this massive low pressure system that is moving across the Midwest there, and it is moving counterclockwise rotation, and it would have moved out of our area, but the part of the reason why it's not moving is because of Tropical Storm Arthur. Arthur is sort of acting as a bouncer and not allowing it to move, but eventually it is going to move out of our area. National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. Some of you, particularly south and west of Cleveland, will end up seeing some thunderstorms tonight, as well as some heavier rain bands, especially after about the 9 o'clock hour. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be very interesting across northeast Ohio. Depending on where you are, you're either going to be waking up to rain or you're going to be waking up to partly sunny skies. So those of you in Lake, Geauga, Ashtabula County, you guys will likely see the sun. Same thing in downtown Cleveland, but those of you west and south of there, including Mansfield, New Philadelphia, you guys will likely end up seeing some rain showers. The rain showers should come to an end by lunchtime, but can't rule out the possibility of a stray shower tomorrow. But look at where temperatures are going tomorrow in the upper 60s, low 70s, and then it only is going to get better from there. We're going to wake up to temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s for Wednesday, and then you'll notice on the Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast, we're going to top out in the mid 60s, and then it is sky high from there. 70 by Thursday, 71 for Friday, and then we improve to 74 by Saturday. Can't rule out the possibility of a thunderstorm on Saturday as well as Sunday. And Romney's favorite thing to see, 80 degrees. That's happening on Sunday and likely into Monday. So you can put away the winter coat, Romney, briefly for at least the next 7 days.
Thank you. I have been waiting for this, Jason. Appreciate that forecast. All right, it is Money Monday, and our Danielle Serino has been helping people who are in trouble get their unemployment money. The trick she found that can help you or your friends and family. And this worth the watch is priceless. Two brothers sharing a good laugh, guaranteed to make you laugh too.
Welcome back to What's New. Many area businesses are struggling right now following our stay-at-home program. They've had to let thousands of employees go. A little-known program is easing the unemployment burden while helping companies stay efficient. Here's consumer investigative reporter Danielle Serino.
My dad will die if he gets COVID.
Jennifer Brown had a job with Chagrin Valley Soap and Salve, but left because she couldn't risk infecting her dad, who's struggling with lung cancer.
I can't put myself in a situation where I could possibly pick it up.
But trying to get unemployment?
I had filed for unemployment March 20th, and then I think it'd been about 7 weeks from March 20th. So every time I filed, it would say denied. I would call them and nobody would answer the phone.
She was denied because her company stayed open, but she chose to quit.
Those who are eligible for unemployment. You are not considered eligible if there is available work and you refuse that work without good cause.
But after our regular conference call with the Department of Job and Family Services, we found many people like Jennifer are now eligible for benefits, but only under the Pandemic Unemployment Program, or PUA, which as part of the CARES Act covers people who traditionally didn't qualify. And that now includes those who can't or won't return to their jobs.
There are any number of categories that could be eligible there. So right now, no benefits are being denied for individuals who are refusing to return to work for that specific reason.
Now Jennifer's in the ranks of those finally getting some income.
Like, first I couldn't even believe that it all worked out. And you saw me like take a deep breath. That's a worry that I can relax about. It's because of you, girlfriend.
And we've told loads of Ohioans to reapply under the PUA, like James, who's high risk, but whose wife was told she had to return to work or get fired. And Leah, who can't go to her job because schools and daycares are closed. If you think that applies to you, use JFS's step-by-step guide to enroll and help you get back on your feet. Danielle Serino, 3 News.
All right, Danielle, thank you very much. Today, Ford is reopening some of its North American assembly plants, and that includes the one in Avon Lake. In all, 12,000 employees will return to plants across North America. The company says it's added safety measures to keep employees safe. All of the employees have jobs that cannot be done from home. The Today Show spoke exclusively with the company's CEO, Hen Hackett. He said that 1,000 employees volunteered weeks ago to return to work at the Michigan plant in order to make ventilators there. That experience makes him believe that the company can reopen its plants safely.
And in fact, in the 9, almost 10 weeks, no one came down with the virus working close to each other. If we take these steps, we can keep the place safe.
General Motors and Fiat Chrysler are also opening plants today. Both have locations in Toledo, and GM also reopened in Parma. Straight ahead on What's New, we wrap up today's show with our Worth the Watch, and I promise you, it will make you crack up. It's good, and it's next.
It works.
I've gotten Sandy into it a little bit, but we'll be walking. She'll say, oh, they're talking to you.
Oh, hello. Let me put my ear in. Yes. Rachel's mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rachel's mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's on. Yes. Can they see me with, please?
Hey, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
All right, time for our Worth the Watch. This video of 2 brothers sharing a good laugh and orange soda is going viral. I think you'll enjoy it.
Aww.
Romney, who knew that orange soda could be so much fun?
They have to be speaking their own little language to each other.
I think that's exactly what it is. And thinking back on my memories as a parent when I had kids that young, so when they're in that laughter mode, Romney, that also means they're on the verge of tears too. It's very close to being overly tired in my experience.
I like it because you can hear that guttural happiness out of them. And hey, if orange soda does that to you, sign me up. I want a 2-liter of that.
I'm with you. I don't know anything that makes me laugh like that, but I'm glad they found something. And that video will be priceless for them in the years to come. That's going to do it. Romney, great spending time with you, and you as well at home. We're out of time for now, but we're back tomorrow at 5.